2021. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank you so much for your participation and contribution to our annual convention success. We are Tanlei and Truong as the presenter moderators. We're delighted to see all of you in line of virtual presence today. Especially in our presentation title, Transforming the Process of Ideational, meaning through grammatical metaphor with practical implication in teaching, learning English effectively. We do hope that all of you will be able to have some valuable knowledge and experience as takeaways following the talk. Before the presentation, there are a few considerations. In case you have any questions or concerns about the presentation, please feel free to leave them in the chat box so we can gather the question for easy response in the 5 to 10 minutes Q&A session.
And the research presented is carried out by Ms. Dạ Thị Tuyết Nhung under the guidance of Associate Professor Dr. Phan Văn Hòa. Associate Professor Dr. Phan Văn Hòa is currently a meritorious lecturer at the University of Foreign Language Study, Đà Nẵng University, and he has taught and researched in language education and linguistics, especially for BA, MA, and PhD programs. He used to be rector of the University of Foreign Language Studies from 2004 to 2014, and the Dean of International Education from 2014 to 2016 at the University of Đà Nẵng. His over 100 scientific papers were published in national and international journals and conferences. English education for young learners is one of the priority topics in his research at present. He's also a visiting professional member of the 2020 National Foreign Language Project, Ministry of Education and Training. For 40 years of working as a teacher and researcher, his ambition is, together with colleges, trying to create a national and international network of English teachers and researchers for the purpose of more effective teaching and learning English. And as a vice president of VietTiSo Association and a standing member of Vietnam Linguistics Association, he and his colleges always make contribution to the development of language education. And in our today's presentation, the speaker is going to be Ms. Dạ Thị Tuyết Nhung. And Ms. Nhung has been teaching English for 10 years at Truong High School, Con Tum, Vietnam. Her educational background includes a MA in English linguistics at the University of Foreign Language Studies, Đà Nẵng University. And her great passion is bringing and sharing knowledge in language education and linguistics to make her students in a part of Highland Vietnam better at English usage. She continuously learns and applies what can be more effective for learners. She's now a PhD candidate in linguistics at the University of Education, Đà Nẵng University. She has focused her research on grammatical metaphor, theoretically and practically, and some were nationally published. She's currently a member of VietTiSo. So everyone, please welcome Ms. Dạ Thị Tuyết Nhung.
Thank you for the meaningful introductions of the moderators, Dr. and panelists, and ladies and gentlemen. And today, on behalf of our students, Associate Professor Dr. Phan Văn Hòa and I'm very honored to present.
I'm sorry. Could you please check your mic, please? We cannot hear you okay.
Can you hear me?
This is not that clear.
Not clear?
Yep.
Yes. So you hear me clearly?
This is not clear.
Because the rain hurt. The heavy rain now.
All right.
So do you hear me?
Okay.
Once again, thank you for the meaningful introductions of moderators, Dr. and Sunland, the ladies and the gentlemen. And today, on behalf of our teams, Associate Professor Dr. Phan Văn Hòa and I'm very honored to present our research in the VietTiSo International Convention 2021. The title is Transforming the Process of Additional Meaning Through the Grammatical Metaphors with the Practical Implication in Teachings and Learning English respectively. And there are 5 parts in my presentation. The first is introduction, the second methods and data collection, the third theories, the 4 findings and discussions, and the last is conclusions. In 1985, Harriet first person who introduced the special phenomena in language we call the grammatical metaphors. And we know the grammatical metaphor is meant to transfer from one structure to another. And there are 3 kinds of metafunctions. The first, additional grammatical metaphors, and the second, interpersonal grammatical metaphor, and the last, intersource grammatical metaphors. And we note in additional grammatical metaphors, Halliday focus on the transitivity. It means through system process. And according to him, grammatical metaphor and transitivities make language more complex in form and diverse in content. How can the same meaning be the best transfers among the processes through the grammatical metaphors? And how effective are these procedures for understanding and making the course, especially in English and teaching and learning? Now, let's find the answer of the question in the next part. In the methods and data collection part, we focus on the quantitative and qualitative. And the sample collects 113 the sample from the transferring among the processes and 415 samples with the transferring among the processes. And the sample collects ESP, Joseph Sand and Ho Chi Minh on revolution. And you look at the feature to know more about the collecting the data. And in this part, we know nominalization is not appeared in the sounding level. However, in the lexical grammars, we know there are two kinds. The first congruent, it means the normal way we want to express our ideas. And the metaphorical is mean incongruent. And in the semantics level, we know there are only one meaning. S1 is meant the one meaning. And S2 from the metaphorical, we know S2 is mean the meaning truth, and S3 is mean the meaning truth. And you know, so from the lexical grammar, we know as this 1 or 2 or more the meanings in this. About the theories of the transitivity system, according to Halliday theories, we know transitivity systems are concerned with the types of the process expressed in the clause with the participant in this process, various attributes and circumstances. Now you look at the sample to know more about this. The first, I give you the control form. Look at this. We have 2 clauses. The first, don't prepare the tickets before the departure for the airport. We know the first clause is the Truong prepare the ticket, and the second clause is he departs for the airport. But for the concurrent form, we have another way to express this. It's meant to incongruent, or we call the metaphorical. Truong's preparation for the ticket precedes his departure to the airport. But we know Truong is mean the actors now. Prepare the process and the tickets it goes and now. From this, we turn to the nominalization. Truong's preparation for the ticket. And we know before it's been related, we turn to this preceded is the verb. And the second clause, he departed for the airport. We turn to his departure to the airport. He utters and departs the process, and for the airport, the circumstances, we turn to this, the nominalization and circumstances now. And this is the transitivity according to Halliday theories. I give you another example to know about the process of separating nominal group. And this is the most important thing we want to focus on today. Now you look at this. We have the 2 link clause. The first, these indicators may reverse the excess height in if the rest of the tolerance increase. In this time, we know we have two clauses, and we look at this. Only one clause, the preference of the foreigners exchange in nature depends the level of the risk of the currency. And in this clause, from the two green clause, we turn to one clause, and when we say only one nominal clause, there's the correlations of the foreign exchange in nature's preference and currency risk assessment. We know only its nominal clause. And in the part, the writer can develop their tendency according to the context. So we see there are 6 types of the process according to Holidays in the 1985. The first in materials is expressed about the doing or happenings, and the participant in this case is the author and the girls. You look at the example. The British ruled it until the 1960. So the rules is mean is express the happening. And the second type is behaviors. Is behaving, and the participant in this case is behaviors. You look at the example. The people are laughing. Laughing is mean that behaving. And the third is the measure. Measure is talk about the prescription or the expression of the condition. And it talk about the feeling, the thinking. The participant in this case is the center of the nominals. You look at the example here. Verbals. Verbals mean you talk about the saying, and the subjects in this case we call the sayer. You look at this. Way is mean the sayer, said. It's mean the verbal process, and thus every fourth frequency in New Zealand is mean the topic we want to focus on. About the relational, we talk about the attributions, and it's identifying, attributing, and the beings, and subjects in this case we call the careers and attribute. Look at this. Thus every fourth frequent of New Zealand. And thus, every first African in the careers in New Zealand is the main attribute. The last type I want to talk about is existential. This means existence. Look at this. There is the three trinities in the source. So there is main existence. So we have just given a general pictures about the system of process according to Holiday theories. So if we only focus on the trinities among in the process, so we know the symbol take a lot, appears a lot in the context. The 415 symbol indicate the materials is the big with 130 symbol, and existentials is at least only 22 symbol. However, we know in our studying we focus on the transitivity among them. So among the 6%. And the first time I want to focus on the materials process. So now you look at example here. From the curriculum form, we was professional well-shaped ideas and retreats of the colonialisms. These may have brought us closer together sooner. So underline the word. Mind have a bus is mean materials process. From the control, we have actually 3 ways to rewrite this. The first, the professions of these shared ideas and all the common story of ruins of colonialism might have brought us closer together sooner. Yes, so from the materials process, we turn to materials process too. However, in this times, we know only the normal ways. However, in the first, this A, you look at this. Nominal illustration appears. It means the grammatical metaphor appears in this type. And the second, it is same. The students, the ideas of professionalism and losing of the colonialism separated the change brothers to close together sooner. And from the material, we turn to material too. However, the difference from the word might have expressed and critic. And the last, the students' idea of professionalism and students of colonialism lead to the closing together sooner. So lead to, it's not material, but it's relational. So it differs from the construent to the materials. It's been incongruent. The second I want to focus on is the mental process. Look at this sample here. The people observe him when he threw his body up on his flesh and cooked his ears. So observe is meant the mental process. So we use holiday theory to rewrite this. Because the metaphor circles, it means the congruence way. Look at this. Number one, this observer showed him throw his body up on his flesh and cooked his ears. The source, we know the observer is made the mental process. And the second way we want to focus on is the source is made the mental process too. However, it's different. Observe it is verb and the observer is nouns. So we look at this. And in the second too. In the second forms, we know it's rolling the body up on and the cooking is made triple note. Note is mean the materials process. So from the material, the mental, we turn to the mental and materials process. So we can put text information in this kind. We can rewrite another ways. The people observation in his drawing the body up on and cooking ears. So you look at this. This is the only the nominal verbs are not close, and in this kind the writer can develop the ideas about it. They can develop the sentence in another way, according to the context, depend on the context in the discourse. So the next part is relational process. Look at this. Many people harvest clean waters and use electricity. The numbers of boys and girls in school and literacy rate increase. So you look at this, however, it's main relational process. So in the part, we have also three ways to express them. The first, the number of the people with the clean drinking the waters and using electricity, and the number of the boys and girls in school and literacy. So R is mean relational process. You should look at this. However, it's a process too. And the second, the increasing the drinking clean waters and using electricity be in the school of boys and girls and literacy rate are suitable. So R is mean process too. However, you look at this. In this case, we know this is another way. In this case, the nominalization occurs. You look at this. With the clean drinking waters and using electricity. This. And in the second, this increasing of drinking clean waters using electricity be in the school of boys and girls and literacy rate. In this case, we know this is the grammatical metaphors because there's nominalization in this clause. And you look at this. The number of the people drink clean water, use electricity, and the number of the boys and girls being in school and literacy rate increase. And you look at this. It's also the nominal verbs. So clearly that we know there's the transitivity among the relational to behaviorals. How about behaviorals process? Look at this. In conclusion form, we must screen carefully the whole year hallucinations. This is so clearly in this argument. And must screen this main behaviorals process. We have two ways to express this. The first, this argument only emphasizes the need for the careful screenings of those who use the hallucinations. In this time, we know the emphasis is the behavioral process. It's different from the masculine behavioral process too. However, you know, the need for the careful screenings of those who use the hallucinations is the nominal scope. And the second, the careful screenings of those who are the hallucinations is the emphasis needs in this argument. And in this case, it's main relational process. It's not behavioral process. It is. So from the contour, we have another way to express, and is this we know nominalization appears in this. Turn to another case, the verbal process. Now look at, can you tell us about the political and cultural makeup of these areas? And can you tell us mean the verbal? So we use holiday theory to write this. The first, would you like to introduce something about the political and cultural makeup for the Nigerians? So would you like to introduce this? This is the verbal process. And can you tell us mean the verbal process too? And I wonder how the political and cultural makeup of Nigeria too. So you look at this. According to the holiday theories, we call this the interpersonal type. It's not additional grammatical metaphors. This is the second way to describe this. And the last type of this, the existence source process. Look at this. There was the Lord stirs of the natural contrariness in his decisions. So there is mean existence source process. So you look at this. His existence is a Lord stir of the natural contrariness. So you look at this is mean the existence source process. It is however, we know the decision is not here. And the second way, the Lord stirs of the natural continuous will happen in his decision. The first happens in the behavioral process. It's not existence process and different from here. And so, pay attention. Slide. And so, the above the evidence confirm again accuracy of the holiday theories about the grammatical metaphors and the transferring phenomena in language. Below is the model of transitivities among this process built from the research of our study. We know from the one process, we can turn to another ways. From the materials process, we turn to the existentials or relational or the verbal or mental or behavioral. So now, this is the table, this is the research about the transitivities among the process in this text. We know from the materials to relational, it's the biggest number, 44th symbol. And the second type, relationals and behaviors. And the first is the mentals, materials, and continued verbal, mental, and the last we know is existentials, only the ninth symbol in this kind. Look at this. So the research said that the ideas and metaphors for the transitivity system in this materials process is the most least of less than the mentals, behaviors, existentials, relational, and verbal process. And we know the nominalization or the status have the most new property in the language phenomena. And we know the transitivities among the process in the two types. The first is transferring in its out process, and the second transferring from this process to another. And we know the transitivities sit and just strongly under the start of the nominalization. And the last one we want to know, the memory of the grammatical metaphors occurs in the text, and the drivers of the transferring from among the process depends on the totally on the purpose of the participant in the context. So now you look at again the process of switch and nominal group. We know this. So as we know, the grammatical metaphors, if we apply correctly, become an effective tool for writing academic discourse respectively. We know because the grammatical metaphors may express the more complex, informed, and more diverse in contents. Look at this. From the two link clause, we can rewrite only one clause, or on this kind, only one nominal clause. So we know nominalization is presented are the major resource for the written of the metaphorical, whether rhetorical or the construal, the lexical grammatical relation, the semantic categories. So in this process, we know the speaker or the writer can choose the various way to express his ideal, his attribute, as well the choice among the six process according to holiday theory. So that's in my presentation. Thank you for your listening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, Ms. Nhung. And now we are happy to receive any questions that you may have for our presenter. So maybe the audience needs some time in order to form the question. So how about my question first? Ms. Nhung, can you tell us more a little bit about the application of your research in teaching? Like we are English teachers, and what should be the lesson that we learn from this presentation and apply in our classes?
Yes, okay, thank you for your interesting question. So, yes, I will use this slide to explain our answer. So, you know, if we know more about the grammatical metaphor, so we can write, we can plug information. You look at this from the, for example, two link close or Morse close, we can make the sentence the structure, the pocket information, and different way here. The first, you look at this, it's in a normal way, we know. But when we use the grammatical metaphor to rewrite this, we know the information, the pockets, and on this nominalization in this kind, no. So it is, and from here we can develop our sentences. We can develop or we can express another idea in this part. We practice information in it. Make the sentences shorter. Yes, and it's a very useful for the writers or for the writer or for the speaker, because we have we are able to choose the various way to express our ideas, or choose the way to express or the way to rewrite another sentence.
Okay, everyone. Yeah, if you have any questions, just feel free to post your questions in the chat box. So I just want to talk to Ms. Nhung a little bit, just to make sure that I truly understand your answer. So like when we jump from one title process into another title process, we kind of like change the way that the sentence is structured in order to meet the certain or the specific requirement for different genre of tests. Is that what you mean?
So I will show you another. I will show you one example. So now you look at it. For example, from the one process. For example, here's the mental process. Observe. In this case, we know we only the normal way. So we can use the paraphrasing to rewrite in the normal way. However, when we use the grammatical metaphors to write, so different. The first we know this. The first. But for example, the observer showed to him through his body on his face and group ears. So we know the changes. The sensitivities among the mental to the mental, and another way to express. So look at this. If the rolling body groups on his crooked ears make the paper notes, will exchange the process. And in this case, we know this is the way to collect information to make the sentences the compact pockets information and more the meaningful and complex. So look at this here. And so and we can draw this. The people observation of this role in the body of the putting here. From the mental, we can turn to the process or another way, or we can rely only one nominal group to develop another, continue to your sentence. And then we use this to rewrite her, and you turn to from the verb to the nominal groups. So this is the transitivity between the process according to the holidays theories. It's a different, the normal ways, and this is the metaphorical ways. We want to focus on this. And in this case, we know we have a lot of ways to rewrite this. Not only to, but also we have a lot of. We depends on the context, depends on depends on the purpose you want to express.
All right, so thank you very much, and thank you very much for your informative presentation. And due to the limited time, we cannot include all the questions in the Q&A session. So you can email the presenter directly. And on behalf of VIC 2021, we wish you all the best with the productive day and meaningful rest of our virtual convention. Thank you and goodbye.
Okay, thank you for your listening.
Thank you.